portions of
ultimate urban environment. So quiet, it shuts out urban unpleasantness. So beautiful, it improves the neighborhood. Even the most elegant street in America, which, incidentally, seems to have been named after our new car. The all-new Park Avenue by Buick, the power of understatement.
There's delicious news for connoisseurs. Now they can savor two delectable delicacies together for the first time. Introducing new Fancy Feast filet and pâté. We start with a layer of our finest pâté, so exceptionally moist. Then add a layer of almost tender filet for an exquisite pairing of tastes. Extraordinary. New Fancy Feast filet and pâté. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Ahead on WeatherScope, after a weekend of severe weather, southern states are drying out and cleaning up. The latest coming up on WeatherScope after your local forecast.
This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel.
This edition of WeatherScope is sponsored by MCI World. Is this a great time or what?
This is WeatherScope.
Heavy wet snow falling in the New York City area. Hi everyone, I'm Warren Madden. We also have heavy snow in the upper Midwest, and we'll have more on the storm damage from the weekend. But first, let's go to Gene Rubin in the Forecast Center with an update on the snow around the New York City area.
Thank you very much, Warren. The snow is tapering down right now. An hour or so ago, we had the heavy snow falling over islip. Right now, moderate snow continues in West Hampton, but the snow is tapering down, and that is good news. Earlier today, this is what it looked like in New York City. Snow was falling lightly. You can even see or you just saw there for a moment, the skies graying behind the skyscrapers. Many people pulled out their umbrellas to ward off the heavy wet flakes. The snow picked up significantly this afternoon and this evening, and it looks like it will continue for the next maybe 30 minutes or so. Then the snow, for the most part, should be out of there after maybe a quick 2 to 4 inch burst of snow. All right, 24 hours ago, look at that low pressure area at the surface and in the upper atmosphere. It was over the Oklahoma-Arkansas area. In the past 24 hours, it has moved rapidly into the northeast, taking a little supply of moisture with it. But because of its rapid movement, nobody's going to get an unusually large amount of snow out of this. Some reports already at Harrisburg at 4 inches, Millville at 2, State College, PA at about 1.5 inches. Over the island, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 inches. And it's possible at Cape Cod you might get 5 or 6 or 7 inches, but it will be a quick burst in the next couple of hours. Here's a composite picture of the radar and the satellite map. You see for yourself the back end of the precipitation right now, just about in the eastern parts of Pennsylvania, just about moving out of the Delaware area, definitely out of Washington and Baltimore at this time, and we'll be out of New Jersey during the next hour. We are still forecasting an additional several inches of snow here. Now, this is through noon tomorrow, but all the snow that falls in this area will be in the next several hours. The brighter white colors, coastal Connecticut, coastal Rhode Island through Cape Cod, that's where the heaviest snow could fall, aided by some moisture coming in off the Atlantic, so you might get a quick burst of 6 or 7 inches. Travel will be a mess, especially on the untreated and secondary roads. A couple of hours ago, highways 67, 340, and 40 were reported icy and snow covered. That was in Maryland, but that should be improving with warmer temperatures coming into that region over the next several hours. Excuse me, as we look at the low pressure area itself, it's still in Virginia. It could redevelop off the coast, but it will move rapidly off to the east-northeast. The northern edge of the precipitation shield is in the form of sleet and snow, and that's because we have a big high pressure area up here in Canada pumping down lots of cold air, and that's the reason we have that snow band. Temperatures, most temperatures as you see them there are above freezing where the snow is falling. So again, that will keep most of the roadways in pretty good shape, except for those untreated and secondary roads. Most of the interstates and major highways should be in pretty good shape. All right, some radars, a couple of radars to look at. The first radar will take us into the New York City area, or at least a broad view of the New York City area in Philadelphia. And again, you can see the back end of the precipitation now, the rain, the snow moving rapidly off to the east. Here's a close look at New York. The darker green colors, some of the yellow colors, that's where the heavier precipitation is falling, but as the radar goes into motion, you're going to see how quickly it's moving to the east at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Look at this. New Jersey, you're just about out of precipitation except in the extreme northeast corner right now. I would say that in Long Island, even West Hampton, where the snow is falling rather heavily, precipitation should be out of your region during the next, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. Boston, you're going to be in the northern edge of the precip. You might get a couple of inches of snow, but Chatham, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and maybe even coastal Rhode Island down this region, that's where that quick burst of maybe 5 or 6 inches, but that would be on the outside, probably closer to 5 than it would be 6 or 7. All right, there is other areas of the country that are having heavy snow falling. Warren Madden standing by in the studio to tell us about the heavy snow in the upper Midwest and your 5-day forecast. Warren.
Thanks, Gene. Well, the storm system that's affecting the Northeast tonight is the same one that caused so much damage in the Southeast and the flooding in the Ohio Valley. All of heavy rain caused this weekend has caused flooding along the Ohio River. These pictures were taken near Louisville, Kentucky. And the swollen river also has caused damage and forced evacuations in Ohio and in West Virginia. And it looks like the flooding will continue for at least another day as the rivers will finally start to get a chance to recede. Recovery and cleanup